Okay. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us again for another seminar with us here at the Oz Hair Clinic. Today, our seminar is titled, How Soon Will I See Hair Regrowth Results with Herbal Treatments? So just for clarification, I'll just mention that, we need to firstly discuss what herbal treatments are we talking about. There's a number of herbal treatments on the market today, so we want to make sure that we are very clear about which herbal treatment we are referring to in this evening's seminar. So as I've mentioned there, a couple of important points, that those herbal treatments might be herbal, but please ask yourself, can these treatments show you results? Have they been tested? Does the company have a history of successful hair regrowth results? So that's just a question I'll put forth just before we get started. So as I mentioned, we'll focus our discussion primarily on the 101 herbal home use program that we use here at the Oz Hair Clinic, and also I'll make mention of the Oz Hair in-clinic treatments that we use as well. So it's predominantly a herbal treatment that use in this program. The use at home program, or the home use program, is totally a herbal program. In the clinic, we do use some of our herbal liquids. We also use some electrotherapeutic therapies as well, which I'll briefly go through later in the presentation. So the herbal treatment that we'll be discussing is, the main method that we use here is called herbal follicular activation. So we use the 101 hair products and the Oz Hair in-clinic treatments to reactivate hair follicles using this concept. So firstly, we'll look at the 101 herbal liquid tonics, which are our main hair regrowth, which is the main hair regrowth product that we use, particularly in your home use program. This formula is a combination of Chinese herbal medicinals in an alcohol base, and the alcohol's very important as a preservative to preserve the therapeutic function of the herbs, and it also acts as a stimulant. The alcohol, once applied to the scalp, will warm the scalp and help increase a bit of blood circulation to the hair follicles. And this liquid tonic is applied directly to the scalp. It is an externally applied agent, and it's used twice per day for hair regrowth, or if you just want to maintain your hair, or maybe just stop any excess hair fall, you might just want to use it once per day. And it takes about 5 minutes to apply each time, so it's quite a convenient therapy to use, especially if you're out on the road or you're holidaying. You can always take this liquid tonic with you and still use it when you're away from home. It's very convenient and very easy to fit into your busy lifestyle. The main function of the herbal liquid tonics are firstly to stop excessive hair loss. It's very important that we control the excess hair loss, particularly in the initial stages of your treatment. Note that you can lose anywhere between 50 and 100 hairs per day. That's considered to be within normal range, but if you're losing any more than that, then that's what we consider excessive hair loss. So this liquid, when applied correctly, will help to control that, usually within the first month or so. Number two, the liquid helps to thoroughly clean the scalp pores, which is going to be very important if you're going to absorb a lot of the nutrients that are in these herbal tonics as well. So there's cleansers in the tonics, and there's also nutrients in there as well. So we need the scalp clean so that the hair follicles can absorb some of that nutrition that's also contained in the liquid tonics. Number three, the tonic also nourishes and reactivates hair follicles. And four, the liquid tonics reduce hair follicle sensitivity to DHT, which is one of the sort of the major cause of male or female pattern hair loss. It's usually due to a build-up of DHT, which is a hormone, male hormone in the body in men and women. And I'll talk a little bit about that, so there's not too much confusion. DHT is basically produced at the base of the hair follicle as testosterone combines with a particular enzyme called 5-AR. Once the testosterone and the enzyme combine, it forms DHT. And this buildup of DHT around the base of the follicle actually is responsible for the hair thinning. Apparently, it may cut off or reduce some of the blood supply to the hair follicle, and that will cause thinning and gradual degradation of the hair. So, as I've mentioned, the DHT binds to the receptors at the base of the follicle, affects the blood supply or obstructs the blood supply, and what do we all know that's in blood? Well, some very important nutrients there: oxygen, vitamins, minerals, proteins that usually feed the hair. You're obviously going to get less of those essential substances getting to the hair follicle. So that leads to a process called miniaturization, which is pretty much means is exactly what the word says, which is things will miniaturize or become smaller. The hair will actually shrink and become smaller and thinner, and that's where you start to get the hair thinning, which eventually may lead to baldness if you don't do something about it quickly enough or in time. This is a picture just showing the gradual progression of miniaturization. So you've got a nice healthy hair follicle there, nice thick hair shaft, good blood supply there, and then over time your follicle's getting thinner. I don't know if you can see on the screen there at home, but that hair there coming up is getting a little bit thinner. It's not as dark, it's not as shiny. So the quality of hair coming through is not as good. It's getting thinner until eventually you get not just thin hairs, but the hair eventually will stop coming up through that out of that follicle. So you're just going to get we're going to get no hair coming up. You end up with baldness. That's the result of miniaturization if it's sort of not treated in time. So that's DHT miniaturization. So these tonics do help to sort of affect the DHT or the follicle sensitivity to the DHT, which, as I mentioned, is very important to control hair thinning and hair loss. Just a note here that depending on your scalp type or your hair loss condition, you might be prescribed a different type of hair tonic. The image I've got just here, that's just one of the main tonics that we use in our treatment, but we do have a number of others that we will prescribe or recommend depending on your scalp type and your level of hair loss, and also the type of hair loss that you've got, depending on the cause of it. Just the dosage with our liquid tonics. The Regrowth dosage is the strongest one that we use usually, and that's basically using 5 ml of the liquid twice a day, so morning and evening usually. Or if you just want to use a maintenance dose just to prevent further hair loss and keep your hair at the level that it currently is, we'd recommend using 5 ml just once per day, either morning or evening, doesn't really matter. So that concludes our herbal liquid tonics, which is part of that home use program that I mentioned. Next, I'll go on to the hair formula tablets, which is also quite an important part of our hair regrowth program. This tablet or this particular formula is made up of 14 Chinese herbs in total, and about 7 of them are actually specific for the hair regrowth and hair health, which is obviously very important. But interestingly, there's another 7 herbs in the formula that we know as adaptogenic herbs, which are herbs that are very good as a general tonic for the organs and glands of the body. These herbs will help the body cope better with mental and physical stress. So they are very strong tonic herbs for the body to strengthen the internal body systems. And if you want to have good hair, then you need, you need the rest of your body functioning correctly as well. So that's one of the beauties of Chinese medicine, is that they never really treat one problem in isolation. They will look at the whole body as a whole and just make sure that everything else is working as best as possible to get the best result with whatever symptom you're treating. In our case today, we're specifically discussing hair regrowth. So a very good combination of formulas, good for the hair, and also very good, very strong body tonics there. And another interesting point about this formula is that it does have a nice history from the Ming Dynasty in China. I think it's about 500 or 600 years ago. This, or at least those 7 adaptogenic herbs were used by a couple of Chinese emperors of the Ming Dynasty. And a very interesting fact is that those particular emperors actually ended up fathering the most children in the history of the Chinese emperors and dynasties. I think there was about over 550 emperors in total in China's history, and these 2 in particular ended up fathering the most children. So it's an interesting point. I can't say 100% whether it was this herbal medication that was prescribed to them at the time, because they were both suffering with sort of conditions of lethargy and fatigue and that sort of thing, and their traditional physician at the time recommended this formula to them, and and that was the result. Yeah, they ended up fathering quite a few kids, the most out of all the emperors in China's history. So yeah, just an interesting note there with that formula. The product is also TGA approved, which is very important. This is obviously a tablet. You're taking it internally. We want to make sure that it is it's safe to use. So the TGA is the Australian sort of governing body that looks after medicinal products, including pharmaceutical and health and herbal supplementation. So what does this hair formula tablet actually do? Well, it promotes hair regrowth, and that's obviously one of the functions we want. It also reduces hair follicle sensitivity to DHT. So I imagine there's ingredients in the herbs that might interfere with that formation of DHT at the hair follicle, at the base of the hair follicle, as we mentioned earlier. And number 3, it also darkens grey hair, which is quite useful as well. A lot of people that we get coming to us for hair loss also notice that as they progress with the treatment, that their hair actually starts to become darker, which they're quite impressed with as well. Also, the hair formula tablets are very good for improving digestion and food absorption, which is very important for your general health. If you're not, breaking down and absorbing the nutrients that you're taking in, then you're going to have less of those nutrients going to your hair. So a very important function of the formula, so it actually supports that general health concept again that we mentioned before. Useful at promoting restful sleep, which again, if you're sleeping well, your body's going to recuperate better each night, and then you'll again, it's better for your general health, and again, supporting the hair, the condition of your hair and hair regrowth. And lastly, also very good for strengthening bones. So there's probably some certain amount of calcium in the medicinals that are contained in the formula, and possibly phosphorus and other nutrients in there essential for good bone strength and development. Also with this formula, some of the clinical indications I've got listed here as well, quite interesting. Diabetes, hyperlipemia, which is high sort of blood fat or cholesterol in the blood. So useful at treating high cholesterol, diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure. Also good for arthritis, joint inflammation, and low libido, low sex drive. So a very, it's got quite a wide use of application, this formula, although we prescribe it for hair conditions, but it's also indicated for a number of other health disorders as well. So you can get there's other benefits to using this this product, which is so it makes it very, very useful. The dosage for this product is usually 2 tablets morning and evening, and that's usually that's the strongest dosage that you would take. So it's 4 tablets in total per day, and that's your hair regrowth dosage. So that's if you want more regrowth. If you're just looking, as I've mentioned, the maintenance dosage before with the herbal liquid, where we're just using it once a day. If you just want to take the tablets just as a maintenance for your hair to sort of stop losing excessive hair, you can just take 2 tablets once per day. That will be sufficient. And it's recommended that you take them with some warm water and about 1 hour after meals, just to ease the effect on the stomach. There's a few tonic herbs in the formula that they're quite a heavy. When things are very nourishing, they tend to be a little bit heavy on the stomach. So it's always nice to put some, sort of have it after some food in the stomach, just to ease the stomach and take a little bit of pressure off it. So now we'll move on to the last component of the home use Herbal 101 program that we use. That's the 101 shampoo. This shampoo includes 6 Chinese herbs that are traditionally been used for hair regrowth and hair health. Some of those herbs as well are also very good at cleansing the scalp. So very good for. So it's got its nourishing function, which is to sort of nourish the hair roots. Also very good as a cleanser, as a deep cleanser, cleaning the oil and dirt from the scalp pores. Also very good for removing loose dandruff and scalp itchiness as well. Those last 2, dandruff and the scalp itchiness, very common complaints. I think generally with a lot of people do suffer from those, but particularly if you're also suffering from hair loss, it's very common to have those two signs and symptoms. So the shampoo is very useful for that. The dosage of the shampoo, just use a small amount, probably a 20-cent piece size on your palm. That's probably all you need. And I'd recommend using it daily initially for the first few weeks, just to really clean the scalp up, remove that excess oil and dirt on the scalp, and then after about maybe after using it for a couple of weeks, you might then want to cut back a little bit to every second day, because the shampoo is a very good scalp cleanser. And what happens when you get that strong cleansing action, it can also strip the scalp of excess oil and moisture, and we do need some moisture and lubrication and oil on the scalp. If it gets too dry, that's also going to cause problems. That's going to cause irritation and itching and that sort of thing. So it's got a very strong cleaning action. So once you've settled down, once you've thoroughly cleansed your scalp for a couple of weeks, you might be best just to use it every second day to still get the benefits of the cleansing and the nourishing action, but without being too harsh on the scalp. So that's been our experience with using this product. And now I'll just go through the in-clinic treatments that we also use as part of this, this overall herbal therapy. So if you are to come in and have some treatments here at the Oz Hair Clinic in Chatston, we'll start you with a deep scalp cleanse, which involves some steam therapy and application of a deep cleansing liquid tonic, herbal liquid tonic, and that will be followed by some scalp massage, some electrostatic therapy. We apply some electric static stimulation directly to the scalp for about 5 minutes. We'll also apply some nutritive herbal tonics to the scalp during the treatment, because at this stage here we've in the first stage, we've thoroughly cleansed the scalp. We've created a little bit of a sweat. We've flushed the oil and excess oil and dirt out of the pores, and now we can apply some nutritive tonics. So, and they'll obviously be absorbed a lot better if the scalp's clean and the pores are unblocked. So that's why we first cleanse and then we apply our nutrition, later in the treatment. Then we follow that nutrient tonic with some infrared heat application for a few minutes, and then laser treatment at the end. So so there's basically that's our herbal treatment that we use. So at least now we're clear, because we'll be talking about results shortly. So I thought firstly we'll clear up exactly what is this herbal treatment and what is it, what does it involve. So we've done that. So hopefully we're all clear about what type of herbal treatment we're actually talking about. Let's just briefly go through now and look at some of the before we look at some actual before and after shots of our patients. We'll look at just some general anticipated results that you can expect within the first few weeks and few months of treatment. So just here, going to the your first couple of weeks of treatment, the feedback we get is that the scalp feels a lot cleaner. Any sort of itchiness that was there before treatment usually tends to settle within the first couple of weeks. Dandruff is reduced also. And in some cases, we get the appearance of some baby hairs, which we can see only on magnified camera images. You're not going to see those necessarily with the naked eye. Although in some cases, in a few cases, I can actually remember where we actually did see some baby hairs coming up even within the first 2 weeks. But as a rule, usually the baby hairs will be seen with magnified imaging, not just with just with the naked eye. Moving on to after about a month, what type of things you'll see. So it's usually after about that amount of time that any excessive hair loss will start to slow down or even stop completely. If not in the first 4 weeks, and usually in the first 6 weeks. That's been my experience. So the excessive hair loss is really slowing down at this point, and obviously that's very important for showing people some results. We want to slow that hair loss right down as quickly as we can before we start to regrow sort of new hair. Also within after about a month. By that stage, the dandruff is usually, all sort of cleaned up. Usually, it's not an issue after about 4 weeks on the treatment. The scalp condition and pH usually improve significantly after a month, and there are also some early signs of stronger existing hair. At this point, we haven't actually regrown a great deal of hair, but it's the existing hair that's starting to stand up a little bit more on the scalp. It's looking a bit darker. It's getting thicker. The texture's improving, and that'll show as those thinning areas on the scalp will start to appear thicker. So even though we haven't regrown new hair at that point, it doesn't matter. The thinner areas are looking thicker, and it looks like the scalp's already like the hair's already improving, which is very important to get that type of improvement in the fairly early stages, because we want to get people's confidence level that this product it does work, and it works fairly quickly when you consider when you consider how difficult it is to regrow someone's hair. Within the first 1 or 2 months to start showing people improvement in their existing hair is still a very, very good result. Next, after 2 to 4 months, we often notice that the hair is appearing stronger and thicker. So again, that's the existing hair. And those balding and thinning areas are becoming smaller, so they're tending to narrow in from the edges or the margins of where the thinning area is, sort of next to the normal or thicker hair. Those margins are coming inward, so the hair's sort of growing inward on the thinning area. And we also get within the first 2 to 4 months, at this stage, you're definitely going to get some baby hairs coming up by magnified image, and often we do see some small hairs appearing, even without the magnified image as well. So yeah, that's your first 2 to 4 months. And then after 8 months, so we usually recommend people to use the products, for a good 8 months, you'll to really see what this treatment can do. And that's really important. I think it doesn't matter what treatment you end up deciding to do at the end of the day. I think you really need to give whatever you do a really good go and really stick with the treatment, be persistent, be diligent with its use on a daily basis. And at least that way you'll see the best result that whatever the treatment is can give you. So I think that's being fair to to yourself and treatment. So yeah, after 8 months, that's when we'll notice significant visible hair regrowth. At that point, we won't need any magnified cameras anymore. We're getting visible hair regrowth. The new hair that's coming up is stronger and thicker and darker usually as well. And your scalp condition's usually excellent by that point. So after 8 months, you can, if you want to push on and grow more hair, you're welcome to. You can do another 2 months. You can do another 4 months. Or you can choose another 8 months if you like. It's entirely up to people and what they're trying to get out of the treatment. If you want more regrowth, you can go on and do more of the same of what you've done before. However, if you just want to maintain what you've got after 8 months, what we recommend is a maintenance program. And what that involves is basically a low dose treatment. So instead of using the product once a day, you might use it. Instead of using the products or treatments twice a day, you might just use it once a day, or even every second day if you like. But I think once a day is a good maintenance dosage in our experience. It'll keep the hair you've got and just maintain it at that level. You're not going to lose too much hair if you're on that once a day daily dosage. And you can also cut back your regular in-clinic treatments. If you're coming in once a week or every couple of weeks, you might just want to come in monthly or less to just sort of maintain the your hair at its current state. All right, so moving along to our clinical results. So remember, our topic tonight is how soon will I see the results? I've just now I've just finished discussing some general results and how long we will see those improvements in. So we had improvements within the first couple of weeks, within the first month, within the first 2 to 4 months, and then 8 months and on. So what we'll do now is we'll actually go through some real cases of people that have been seeing us and letting us treat them for their hair loss issues. And we'll go through and discuss those. So first we'll go through some quite a number of men that we've seen in the past, and the condition that we treated these men for was actually called male pattern hair loss. So I've divided, the next few sections will be divided up into the actual types of hair loss that we're dealing with. So the topic itself, we mentioned how long will I see hair regrowth results with herbal treatments. I've gone through what the treatment involves. I think it's also important to mention that it also depends it's important to also mention what type of hair loss we are talking about. So we'll discuss male pattern hair loss. So here's our first case, a young gentleman in his late 20s, used our treatments. He was using the home use treatment and also coming in twice a week for clinical treatments. Started his treatment on the 15th of January this year, and we've taken some after shots for him on the 1st of March this year. And as you can see, he's got some better improvement just through these area here. The hair's actually darkened as well in that photo, but because the treatment has only been for probably about January, Feb? Look, it's not even 2 months. Probably about 6 weeks to be just looking at those dates. And I'll just direct you to the magnified image that shows a lot more hair than in this previous magnified image. Now that's the same point on the scalp. Okay, so within 6 weeks, we're already getting some improvement there. And I know the photo's a bit small here on the after shot, but quite thin areas up here, and the hair is just seems to be standing up. Remember, it's only been 6 weeks, so we haven't regrown too much of this gentleman's hair at this point. But the hair that he already had at this stage on his scalp just started to stand up a bit more. So you got hair standing up a little bit more. They're getting a bit thicker. The quality is improving. And we find that when those hairs start to stand up a bit more, it just makes the thin areas look thicker. So that's what we can see just, within a few, 6 weeks, not even 2 months, we're already seeing some improvement. This photo here's a lot clearer, so I always enjoy showing this one. This one here is also a young gentleman who was coming in weekly for some in-clinic treatments and also using our products at home. And as you can see, really nice result there. We've got thinness up here, thinness through this area here, and that's a really good improvement after, what have we got, 14th of August. Look again, probably about 6 weeks? Yeah, look, that's 6 weeks. So another good result. Again, existing hair, but once that hair starts to stand up on the scalp, it just really thickens up those areas that were giving the patients a lot of emotional grief. So we're thrilled that we can show people some result in just a few weeks. That's really positive for what we do here. This is another good result that we got. Now we're sort of focusing on the crown area. This is a side view photograph here. We're focusing on the crown up here, and as you can see, the difference between sort of that point A and point A down here, and that's in about that's a couple of months. That one, that's sort of end of July, and it's just over 2 months, and already that crown is just looks like it's filled up. All that existing hair standing up now, and it's really thickened up that crown area there. So really good result in a couple of months for this gentleman. He was very happy with that result. And this guy had been on pharmaceutical hair loss treatments before, and I think he ended up. I think he wasn't actually able to use the product because of side effects. So he was obviously very happy with that our treatments, because they're herbal, they didn't have any adverse reactions. He was able to get a good result and safely as well, which is very important for a lot of people. Another case of male pattern hair thinning. This is a view at the back of a gentleman in his 50s. And look, the photo really speaks for itself. What a really good result that is. After about, I think it's about 4 months, this one, because it's sort of end of June to, probably about 4 months thereabouts. And that's the level of hair loss initially. And as you can see, there's the crown, there's the thinning area there, and it's really come back inwards. As you can see, there's a lot. Those edges that were very thin before have now sort of closed in, and that's what he's like at that excuse me, at that stage. So a really good result. And I don't know if you can notice, the hair's actually darker as well. So using the products for a few months with that level of hair loss, that's the result you can expect. So 4 months, pretty good result. Excuse the photo on this one. We've enlarged it slightly and it didn't come out as clear, but we can still see this area here that was quite thin, and that point there, I'm sure you can see that area there. And although the photo is a little bit blurry, you can still clearly see that point of hair there is a lot thicker than that area there, where you can clearly see the scalp through the hair on that one, and that should be quite easy to see. Whereas this area here, really, that's thickened up and darkened up a lot. So a really good result. This gentleman here used that for 3 months, and then That's about a one year result. That one, or pretty close to a year, I think. So it's October 2013 and then September 2014. Yeah, so that's about it's coming up to a year, and yeah, look, a really good result. This again, the results do depend on the level of hair loss, so not necessarily the age. So we get young people in here and we get older people. So it's more the level of hair loss that's important rather than the person's age. This gentleman here was in his 60s, but again, it was more the level of hair loss that's relevant. And look, he went for 12 months and looked much better. Even if you go up to I've mentioned this area before, even if you come up here to where that area was so thin, and you've got, a lot of thickening in that area too as well. This area is much better there, whereas it was actually thin in that area before over here, and it's all come inwards. So he's got thicker hair, compared to what it was over there. It's actually, the hair's actually come in. It's grown inwards, and he's got more regrowth coming more towards the center of the scalp. So, yeah, really, really good, really good result there for this gentleman. Okay. And this is the same. Oh, this is the same gentleman that we saw before on the crown. That showed the side of the crown. This is the back view, so you can see it a lot clearly on this shot here. Okay. So yeah, this is actually after. Yeah, I think this is after 6 months. That's about. I think he finished an 8-month program after this, because that's gone. About, was it 5 months and then 7? So he's done about 7 or 8 months on this program, and that's the result. So much better. You can see a very thin crown in that area, not completely bald or anything, but very, very thin, and that's really closed up. The hair's a bit darker as well, and that crown's looking a lot thicker than it did, the previous 8 or so months before. So really good result there. This gentleman here is a case of a younger gentleman, probably in his late 20s, I think. And this result here is after less than 2 months, probably about 6 weeks. So as you can see, we're getting results within some results in a short period of time, where we can show people something on our photo comparison system that we use, and other people it might take a little bit longer. But it just shows that within 6 to 8 weeks we can still get, as you can see in this magnified shot here, there are slightly more hairs in the shot, and I don't know if you can see these 1, 2, 3 hairs there. They're a lot thicker than most of the hairs in that shot too. So the quality of the hair is improving in that shot too. And if we just look at the part in the middle there and the gap there that you can see and compare it to this one, I'm not sure if you can see that at home, but it's a lot narrower. That gap in the middle where the part is actually a lot narrower. So it's the hair's definitely thickened up in just 6 weeks. So that's a good result. I mean, albeit existing hair, but still, I mean, that's showing a result within a fairly short period of time. And keep in mind that this gentleman was on pharmaceutical hair loss treatments for I think a couple of years at least. So he's come off the pharmaceuticals, he's come onto our product, and to see a result like that in 6 weeks, he was quite impressed. And yeah, we also have another case here. This is interesting from the point of view because our topic tonight is asking how long, sort of when can I see the results? How soon will I see the results? This one here is over probably about a 2.5 year period. So 2.5 to 3 year period there. Quite a long period of time. And this gentleman was, when he first started with us, quite thin. So he's this result took more time, obviously, And if you can sort of see the thin areas there, on the temples and then the front top area there, he's got hair there, but it's just quite thin. There's a lot of gaps. You can see the scalp in there. Whereas have a look at this shot here. There's a lot more hair there. He's still got scalp there and there, but the hair that's there is a lot thicker. There's no doubt about it that here's thicker, this side's thicker. These areas here that were thin, right through there and there, and now it looks like it's like a full, it's like a full regrowth in those areas there. Okay, so albeit it took between 2 and 3 years, but still a good result. And this gentleman's still using the products, I think, as a maintenance dosage. So look, I mean, that was the result that we could deliver this gentleman at that stage of hair loss. So we're just showing what we can deliver in what period of time. So for some people it does take longer. So that's we're very open about that, and we do explain to people. But he still got a result within that time, and this result wouldn't have necessarily come there. He would have seen results earlier, but we just thought we'd show you the final result. I mentioned that age is no barrier to this treatment, and this gentleman here, 75 years old, still wanted to grow some hair, and we've once again delivered. As you can see here, what's this photo here is sort of the end of 2003, and by middle of the next year, June the next year, so what's that, about 6 or 7 months, that crown area is really come good. A lot more hair there. The area's thickened up. The hair's darker. The area that was thinner here it's just all closed in on the top. It's sort of getting smaller and smaller, as you can see here. Now it's only this big, whereas here it was that big. So clear result there within about 6 months. And 75 years of age, no problem. We can still help out people regardless of age. So this gentleman obviously very happy with that result. Okay, and so we've gone through a number of cases of male pattern hair loss. We'll look at some. We won't leave the ladies out because we treat a lot of women in our clinic here as well, and we also get some really good results with ladies as well. So here's our first case here. This result is in about 6 months as well, 5 or 6 months. It was the end of July. Yeah, so probably just under 6 months, and again a clear result is the before after. Let's look at this area. Let's focus a little bit on this area here. We've combed the hair to the side and see the scalp there, quite thin. You can see scalp, plenty of scalp in that shot there, plenty of scalp here as well. Come over this side, and the amount of scalp that you can see here is obviously, here it's non-existent. I can't see any scalp here. I can see a little bit of scalp just here on the edges where that part there, but that was probably more advanced hair loss there. The stage of hair loss was more advanced, so it takes longer to treat, a little bit, needs more time. But if you still compare those more advanced hair loss areas, still a lot better than in this photo than in that photo. So the after shot showing, after 6 months, showing a lot more improvement. So really good result there for this lady. This lady here, this is really a phenomenal result, and this is the front. Sorry, the photo is not that clear. You can sort of see her. You can see her glasses in that photo. That's the front of her. That's the eyes there in the glasses. This one that's not as clear. This woman's got a lot of hair on the scalp. She wasn't sort of balding or anything, but definitely thinning in this area here. And there's the same area there, as you can see, completely. It's all grown. It's all grown over now. In about November 2009, and what's that? About 4 months, is it? It's February the following year. So within about 4 months, a really good result. And we actually tried to part the hair in the middle to sort of show that area on this lady for the after photo. We couldn't do it. The hair became so thick that we tried, even though we tried to part it, it just sort of fell back on itself. So, you know, from our point of view, a really good result. We couldn't actually find the thinning area with dry hair, and this same photo there is with dry hair as well. So we need the same photos to be with the same type of hair. We can't have one photo with wet hair and one with dry. So we've got to make it exactly the same conditions. So look, a fantastic result after about 4 months. This lady as well, within I think she was about 2 months, but we were doing some clinic renovations at the time, and so it slowed down our treatment a little bit. So this is probably about 2 months, even though the date shows early January. I think in terms of she was having clinical treatments plus our home use program. So, but there was a bit of delay in the middle with their clinical treatment. So anyway, look, we'll say within 2 or 3 months that we were able to get quite a good result with this lady. As you can see, the thin areas, apologies at home for the thinning area maybe not showing as well, but I think you can see it there. I'm quite thin there through the top and the crown there. And if you have a look at the photo, within about a couple of months, 2 to 3 months after having treatments, that area is a lot better. The existing hair is really improved. It's thickened up. It's standing up a lot more, and that thin area now is mostly covered now. So she was very happy with the result and continues to use our products on a maintenance dosage. So yeah, this is a case of female pattern hair loss. So that's the type of condition that it's still affected by the male hormone. And females also have testosterone in the body. So if they have hair follicles that are sensitive to the male hormone, they can suffer with this condition called female pattern hair loss. But even though, please note that this condition is there's a genetic component to this problem. But even with that family history component there, we can still offer some really positive results like this for these patients with genetic hair thinning. Okay, so your male and female pattern hair loss, they are a genetic hair thinning. Okay. Another result here. Apologies for the before shot, a little bit blurry, but I think you can still see the thinning area there in the middle, thin there too, and all this area here. And if you see the after shot here, which is after 2 months, just 2 months on treatment, I think she used home use and in-clinic treatment. And within just a couple of months on our in-clinic treatment with home use program combined, you're getting a lot stronger hair, thicker hair. This area there that was thin on the side there is just completely, you can barely see the scalp in that area. There's hardly any thin hair there at all. And that patch there is gone. It's just normal hair there now. And still got a little bit there, which we're still working on. I think that the result, this is a little bit of, this photo is from late last year, so it's a little bit not updated. But she's doing better now than in this photo here. And look, you can see still within a couple of months the change there. So quite a good result there as well within a couple of months. This lady here, five months on the program, coming in twice a week for our in-clinic treatments and also using the products at home. This is the result. Okay, so lots of scalp there, very thin area there in the middle. There's the same area there. You've got hair growing. Still see some of the scalp there. There's still some thinness in that area. We didn't fix her 100%, but there's a lot more hair in that shot than there was in that shot. Within after 5 months of treatment. Okay, and your magnified image shows as well the same point on the top of the crown area there. A lot more hairs growing up there. See all these empty spots here? Can you see the little see the follicles with no hairs growing out? You can't see them anymore. There's hairs growing out of them now. There's one. There's hair growing out of all of those empty follicles. So another good result after 5 months for that lady. The final condition we'll talk about today is one called alopecia areata. It's a what they call an autoimmune disease where the body's immune system actually attacks hair follicles. So there's no real, it's not really due to hormone, sort of male hormone causing this problem. As I mentioned with the miniaturization and that thing before, this is an immune system problem. But as you can see, we can still help. We can even help the immune system dysfunctions. This lady here, her result is after about 6 months. There's your patchy hair loss there. So that's one characteristic of alopecia areata. It's more of a patchy hair loss where you actually get patches of baldness. And there's one there. And look at the same area of this side. It's completely filled up after about, 5 or 6 months. So also she had a little bit of female pattern thinning here on this side here, which we've also managed to correct. So a really good result. And often people with alopecia areata, they might still have some male or female pattern hair loss as well at the same time. And, we obviously can treat both of those together, which we have. And there's the result. This lady was obviously very happy with that. She was coming in weekly for treatments and also using the products at home, our usual home use products as well. This lady here also had alopecia areata. This is sort of at the back side of the hair, just sort of behind the ear, pretty much a bald patch there. And after 7 months, there's a really good result. There's the same area 7 months later. To me, it looks almost completely filled up. So, fantastic result for alopecia in about 7 months. So obviously very, very pleased with that. She was very pleased with that result as well. This gentleman here, another really good result after about it's about a year or just under a year, I think. So it's sort of February 01 to February the next year, 02. So looks like it's probably a little bit just thereabouts about a year there. And there's the result. There's the before shot, and there's the after shot. That's a full recovery. That's a complete recovery for alopecia areata in about 12 months. Okay, so a really good result there. I think this is the last case of alopecia we'll show. This young gentleman started with us at the end of December in 2013. Started with us, the dates are back to front. The gentleman started with us at the end of August in 2013, and about, probably less than 4 months later, 3 or 4 months later, we've got really good improvement. We've got this flipped the other sort of the other way around, the opposite way around. Apologies for that. These are our before photos. They're the after photos on top. Do apologise for that. That's the initial shot, the before shot. That's after. Okay, much better. Still a bit of patch there, but much improved. That photo there. There's the side shot as well. You can see the patches are improving a lot more, sort of thicker. The hair's a lot thicker in the areas of the patches, and a lot of patch there, big patch there, lots of patches through here. Virtually recovered, virtually full, almost a full recovery from that photo there. That's how it looked like in August, and that's early December. Still a little bit of patchiness left, but very, very small areas of patches. Look how bad it was in this shot here. Patches everywhere at the back and the crown. So a lot better. Probably about 90. Well, there'll be about 80 or 90% recovery after that. 3 or 4 months. So very good result there for another alopecia areata patient. All right, so you've seen the results. So we can deliver results, anywhere from 6 weeks to 4 months, 6 months, 7 months, right up to, we showed a comparison there of even 3 years. So, the results are there, and in a lot of people they come fairly quickly. In other people it takes a little bit more time. But look, just generally, I just want to conclude today's presentation by mentioning that with the herbal follicular activation treatment that we use here at OzHair, you're looking at 2 to 4 months for some change, and we will show you that on our comparison photos. Whereas if you decide to go pharmaceutical, just keep in mind that the results can take anywhere from 6 to 12 months, and that's not us saying this. This is the manufacturers saying that that's how long it will take to see visible results. So our treatment is, hands down, a much faster result within just a relatively short period of time. You see the comparison there. We're actually showing people results and improving their current hair, their existing hair, and also getting some new growth happening within that short period of time for a lot of people that we see here. That's the main point I want to stress there on this chart here. Keep in mind with your pharmaceutical treatments there are side effects, whereas with what we do, any side effects are minimal. You might get a bit of slight burning sensation after you apply your liquid tonics to the scalp. Usually within 20 to 30 minutes that sensation dies down. And keep in mind that the burning sensation, it is a side effect. Unfortunately, it can happen for some people that they might feel a bit of mild burning. Other people don't feel it too much, but it's usually only for 20 to 30 minutes at most. But that burning sensation it's negative. It's a side effect on one hand, but on another hand, it actually shows that the treatment is working. It is stimulating. The burning means we're actually stimulating the area. We're bringing more blood flow to the hair follicles, which is what we want. We want more oxygen and nutrients and proteins going to the hair follicles to reactivate them, nourish them, and make them healthy again, and promote new hair regrowth. So it is a side effect, but it's also an important part of our treatment. It can be considered a positive sign that the treatment is working. It is working on those hair follicles. Just finally, that keep in mind that with this type of with our programs, with our treatments, if you do stop using the products after a few months, you're not suddenly going to experience any dramatic hair loss, because the herbal follicular treatment actually improves the condition of the hair, because we're feeding it with optimal nutrition. We're cleansing the scalp, so we are really improving the condition of the hair and scalp long term, because we've been feeding it and deep cleansing it for a number of months. With your pharmaceutical treatments, just be aware that within 2 to 4 weeks, any new growth that you've received over 6 or 12 months that you've used the product, your hair can fall out within that hair that's regrown could fall out within 2 to 4 weeks, and that's coming from the manufacturers themselves. They actually say that too, because the pharmaceutical treatment doesn't put any nutrition back into the body or the scalp, doesn't cleanse or balance the pH of the scalp at all. So it's a very limited treatment, and is only of any use as long as you continue using it. But again, keep in mind that some adverse reactions with your pharmaceutical hair loss treatment. So of course we advocate our herbal type approach to hair loss treatment, because it's usually a lot safer, and because you need to use the product for a lot longer. It's peace of mind to be using a product that's proven to be safe. We've been using the product here for about 20 years in Australia, and we haven't had any major side effects in that period. So if you're going to use any form of treatment long term, consider the safety aspects of it. And your herbal treatment is very safe to use for the this herbal treatment for the hair regrowth is very safe to use. All right, thank you for joining us again for another monthly seminar. We hope you've learned something today, and you can take away some really useful information if you're considering going on to a hair regrowth treatment, but you're still unsure which one to go for. We hope that now at least you see how the herbal follicular activation method works. It's a combination of home use and in-clinic treatments that we do here. And we hope you'll consider this type of treatment in future for your hair loss issues. Our website is, you can find us on www.ozhair.com.au, and we've also got a sister website, more of a product website, at www.101, the numbers 101.com.au. All right, and we will be in touch again next month with our next month's presentation. Thanks again for your patience and time tonight. Sorry, just one last thing, if I've still got you there. We are also having a lucky draw in September. So please go to our, I've just given you the little ad there. I'll try to get a bit closer for you. All the details are there. The details are also on those websites that I just mentioned a few seconds ago. And we'll be having that on the 7th, I think it's drawn on the 7th of September, I think it is. But the details are on our website. Sorry, the date there is wrong, but all the details have been updated on our websites. Please visit those, the Oz Hair or the 101.com.au websites. All the details of the lucky draw are there, and there's lots of nice prizes that we're giving away. All you need to do is go to our Facebook, like us on Facebook, and you'll get a prize, and you can also enter the draw to win some free hair regrowth programs with us, and some other smaller prizes. We've got first, second, and third prizes there, so don't miss out. Get on there, like us on your Facebook, recommend us to your friends, and we'll send you out a prize. You can come in and collect it, and you can also go into the draw for one of our major prizes, which is some free treatments for your hair. So please look into that, and like us on Facebook, and have a bit of a read up on that for our lucky draw. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.